Hello, everybody. Welcome to the innovation pitching session for Business and Commerce Now, and a special welcome to our WSA winning teams and the jury members. I'm now very happy to introduce to you our moderator of this session, the fantastic Carolina Rossi from Chile. She is not only our board member, but also WSA expert and has proven an amazing hand in selecting winners. Over to you, Caro.
Thank you very much, Manu, for that great introduction. Hello, everyone. Really nice to be here, and I hope to be clear and to have a really good pitch session. So this will be the second one of this day, right? We're talking now about business and commerce, and we have, I think, a great representation because we have teams from Europe, Latin America, Asia, Africa, and let me introduce them to you. So, first of all, we have Übank from Chile, then we have Ipification from China, Operaize from Germany, Juni from Nigeria, and Modatta from Portugal. So we have them all here. I will give a round of applause. I know if we will be together. So how does this work? Everybody, yes. Have Übank. Sorry. How does this work? Everybody will have, we have the judges, which you have a link already with you, and each entrepreneur has a 3-minute pitch, right? So we're gonna do a 3-minute pitch, and then we jump into a Q&A session, which is also 3 minutes, okay? So whenever everybody is ready, we can begin the second session. Everybody's ready? Yes, right? Okay. So let me introduce to you the first team, which come from my home country, Chile. So welcome. This is Übank from Chile. And we're waiting for whenever you want.
Hello, everyone. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you, Gario, for the introduction. So I'm going to start. I'm Michael Feldman. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Übank. It's an all-in-one personal finance automation API where we are empowering people to improve their financial health, working closely and within the financial industry, implementing our products inside the main banking apps. But before I start, have you said this quote before? I'll start my diet on Monday. Or maybe you say, I'll start exercising on Monday. And when Monday comes, you are like this, sitting on a pizza, and all the promises you made of being a better person, all down the drain. And the same thing is happening with people with money. Next month, I'll save more and spend better. And usually we end up with buying unnecessary stuff that we don't need. And this is very difficult. Personal finances are very hard. One reason for this is we are irrational human beings. We prefer immediate pleasure instead of long-term well-being. Second, our environment is designed to make us spend. We receive hundreds or thousands of offerings every day, and choosing to save instead of spending is very difficult. And also, traditional banks are not giving the best tools for people so they can improve their financial health. That's why we believe that personal finances should be easy. And we're changing the financial industry from within. How we do this? Using our APIs, we integrate this inside the banking apps of banks like Santander, Scotiabank, Itaú, all around Latin America, where we help people to save based on their lifestyle, using rule-based automated savings, where we help people to spend better, managing all their money and seeing what happens with their money, and offering personalized recommendations. How it works, let's imagine this is your banking app. So you click on financial health. We just start asking you questions. What do you want to save for? Let's turn on some rules so you can automatically save based on your lifestyle, your spendings, and your favorite teams scores a goal as one example. And then you can keep track of all your savings and all the rules that you're having activated, how you want to save. Then we start giving you offerings and recommendations. We try to show you how you're spending your money and trying to build smart budgets so you can automatically reach your goals. And we want to give you all the best advice so you keep the motivation and reach your goals. Currently, we're working with different banks and financial institutions all over Latin America with over 700,000 active users who have saved in over 2 years, $750 million, where we're processing and enriching over 10 million transactions every month so people can understand what's happening with their money. And we love some of these numbers, especially 30% of our users have their first savings account with us. Let's create magical banking experiences together. This is Übank. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Michael. Great presentation. And now we're gonna I open the floor for all the jurors that may have questions. And while you think about which question you will have, remember that we're judging for product, social impact, as well as, of course, the pitching. So here we have Odetta with a question. So.
Hi, Miguel. Thank you very much for the presentation and such an amazing product. I'm actually one leg in banking myself, so I know the struggles. And that's a question that I wanted to ask you. What are your biggest challenges when talking to banks? Because essentially you're kind of reducing their income by reducing the transactions that people are making instead of spending. So what are your biggest challenges? Because your customer is the bank essentially, right? Because you're integrating into their apps. So can you just walk us through that a little bit?
Yeah, so our customers are banks. They pay for the service and it's free for their customers. And we're making banks win money, mainly because today people in Latin America, they spend a lot of money with cash. They receive their salary and they take it once a month or every 2 weeks, they take it all in cash. So what we're doing is we're creating an ecosystem of tools and recommendations so people leave the money on the bank account and start spending there. So people leave more money in the checking account, they start saving, so that money starts gaining interest for people and also for banks. They win on the balances that they have on the user's account. So we're making banks win money. We're increasing product adoption, product usage. So in the current context of fintech, banks need to up their game, and we are helping them to reduce the gap between what people are looking for and what banks can give today. So our main challenge today is basically how we can integrate as fast as we can with the different banks. That in the case of Latin America, they don't have open APIs to easily plug and play. So we have a lot of work with them, understanding their technology, how we can update our technology to fix them. So today, our product is 90% standard and a 10% that is depending on the integrations we need to do with each bank.
We have time for one more question, which is, I believe, Connor was raising a hand. Connor?
Yes, sorry about that. Thank you very much for the pitch. Sounds great as a product. Bit of a shame you had to rush the pitch at the end, because I would have loved to hear more about the impact that you were pitching, the impact that it has on the users. So I'm going to break the rules. We're not supposed to encourage you to continue pitching, but can you clarify a little bit more? What is the impact that you are proud of on the end user? How do you measure the impact you're making on society?
Sure. So we measure the first metric, the North Star metric for us is dollars saved per person. How we can start increasing the savings each month for every user. That's what we do. That's our main goal. All the other tools are looking to push people to save more. We are very happy to say that we have 30% of the users had their first savings account with us. And we think that the main challenge in Latin America is not financial inclusion, but recurrent usage of financial products. People have bank accounts, but they don't use it as they should in order to improve their financial health. They take the money.
Michael, I will need to cut you because of time.
Perfect, sorry.
Okay, but thank you very much for your pitch, and thank you for all the questions. Thank you, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, now we're gonna move forward. So we have our second pitch of the day, which I don't know what is that. Okay, which is BBL or Ipification from China. Whenever you guys are ready.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me and see the screen?
Yes.
Okay. Happy Monday, everybody. Delighted to be here. I'm Stefan. I'm the CEO of Ipification, the company that revolutionized the way of how we authenticate our mobile devices. We are all familiar with SMS one-time codes problems. They do not arrive always, they interrupt the user experience, but most importantly, they are insecure and prone to SIM swap attacks and many other security loopholes because SMS was never intended to be used for this purpose. Good news is that we have already started commercializing the alternative solution called Ipification and started with the healthy revenues last year, but way bigger expansion is expected in the years to come. So what's the magic trick of multiplying our revenues and business 50 times in such a short period of time? First of all, a very solid telecom network footprint that we've established. 33 telecom operators that are supporting this solution in 18 markets covering over 500 million users, and that's just the beginning. We've established cooperation with already entrenched market players, whether they're A2P SMS aggregators, communication platforms, payment providers, fraud prevention companies, etc., who are using our technology to satisfy their customers' mobile authentication needs. Third and foremost, our telecom-based authentication is unique. It represents a super strong possession factor verification, and it's currently the only market solution that is able to verify three most important elements: phone number, SIM card number, and device number in a single click based on the user's IP address. All the other solutions that depends on SMS or header enrichment are unfortunately already crippled and they have a shelf life. How it looks like from the user experience, you can see in one real example of a super app that integrated it. So the user is only entering the phone number and clicking verify. There's no need for SMS, for voice call. Both the phone number, SIM card number, and device are verified in less than a second, and user is able to access and use the services. Ipification will become the norm, which is important not only for us as a company, but for the entire digital ecosystem. Our efforts have been already recognized by some of the leading awards in the space during last year and also in the beginning of this year. We have assembled a great team of experts, in the telecommunication space, cybersecurity space, digital identity space, that all share the same vision that next generation mobile authentication must be frictionless, must be secure, and it must protect the end user data and privacy. So please join us to make this vision a reality and boost a simple mobile ID that can tell the whole story about the user in one single tap within any mobile app in the world. So thanks a lot for your attention, and looking forward to the Q&A session.
Thank you very much, Pete. So now we're gonna open for the Q&A session. And again, before everybody of the judges can have some specific question, let's remember that we are looking for product, pitch, and social impact. So do we have any questions of the jury? There is Connor, please.
Yes, well, our moderators just said it, product, pitch, and impact. So what is the impact? It seems like it makes an app experience a couple seconds faster for people, and it certainly, I would want it for my business if I had an app. But at WSA, it's about making society better. So what's the social impact on society?
Yeah, I mean, the impact is huge if you look at the overall digital economy. Right, like based on the World Economic Forum, 60% of GDP is going to be digitized by next year, and digital identity is the center, basically, of any digital service these days. Whether we are talking about the government identity services or the business and e-commerce services as well. So Ipification represents a super strong and important missing piece for verifying digital identity online. So if we look at the overall digital identity ecosystem, whether something user has, something user is, and something user know, I mean, Ipification currently represents the best alternative to this possession factor, because mobile devices are actually the main device that we always possess with ourselves. So by boosting digital identity, we are actually affecting the whole digital economies and the whole digital ecosystem in every country. Whether we are talking from the trust perspective, whether the users are who they are when they present online, whether we are talking about reducing the cybersecurity attacks, which we have some case studies we've done with many banks that we are working with, or whether we are talking about much more easier access to government-based services, whether it's issuing driving license or ID license through two-factor authentication, which is seamless and which is via mobile devices, which is the most easiest and the most accessible way of using the services.
I believe, Connor, do you have another question? You raise your hand again, or is it clear?
Yes, I only raised my hand because I noticed the other jurors didn't have a hand raised, so I'll sneak in a follow-up. It's about measurement. You mentioned trust, reduction of fraud, improved access to government services. Do you measure this? And can you share with us, if you do, can you share with us how the impact has looked sort of quantitatively?
Yeah, I mean, in some markets, for example, I mean, there was an official data of SIM swap attacks. I'm not sure how many of the jury members are familiar with the SIM swap attacks, but it's a growing attack vectors happening when the fraudsters are changing your SIM cards with the telecom so they can get the SMS calls on your behalf to do the banking transactions and etc. So it reaches, in one country, it reaches over 800,000 euros within a year. Right, with the major 5 banks. When this solution has been implemented, I mean, this dropped to I don't know, less than 1 or 2 cases that happened during this 1 year. I mean, just giving you an example of one small, talking about the cyber attack and the security vector that this type of solutions are solving.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you, Matt. Because of time, I need to cut it now, but let's just move forward, and congratulations again. We're moving to our third representative, in this case representing Europe from Germany, Operaize. So welcome, Operaize from Germany. Welcome to the session.
Hello, I appreciate very much the opportunity to present ourselves, and I would like to present a short pitch that I prepared for you. And so before I start, I would like to introduce myself to you. My name is Alexander Kuriel. I'm one of the founder of Operaize. We started our business 1 year ago, and the company was founded by Christoph and myself. And what we do is we develop next generation AI that not just predicts problems, but also solves problems. And we focus very much on production optimization. And we have developed a software that enables manufacturers to much better control and plan their global production. And the benefit is that they can increase their overall effectiveness, and also what we have figured out in our first project with Henkel is that they can save lots of resources such as raw materials, chemicals, also additives, electricity, etc., by up to 20%. And we also learned that the software enables manufacturers to avoid scrap production or waste or any other of material losses. And in all together, we could see that the software enables customer also to reduce carbon dioxide emissions. And so we created our vision new, and we want to support our customer to better control their overall the globalized production. So we want to support customers in converting their global production into autonomous, self-controlled, self-optimized production. And the purpose of it is not just to increase profitability, but to solve key problems of our planet, such as the climate change, social problems, and production problems. And we believe that AI of the next generation enables our customers to solve such kind of problems. And what we do with our software is we learn from production. So as soon as something happens in production, such as resource consumption, production plans will be done, etc., we learn from any kind of activity, from any kind of production flow, from any kind of measure that is happening in production. We learn, and also we learn what is good, what is effective. We learn what kind of resources are consumed, etc. And we will convert learning into insights and will use insights for problem solving. And which is the next dimension of our product. Our software enables customers to solve problems without human interaction, which is very important in today's global production. In a typical production factory, you have up to 1,000 alarms every day. And the last one is also very important to capture a better picture.
Alexander, I need to cut you. I'm so sorry, but since we need to be fair for the rest for the 3 minutes, but let's jump. Yes, but let's jump into the questions now, so then you can.
All right.
Yes, maybe to clarify some doubts. So Odetta, please, you have a question.
Yes, hello. I wanted to ask you if you can share a real-life example of application of your system. Including, because it seems that it requires a lot of installation within the established production facilities. So can you give one live example of how everything works?
Yes, one moment. I can explain it very easily. One moment, please. Here we go. What we do is we capture data from any kind of production environment. We learn from it and we optimize it. And that means that we not need that much production data. We only need planning data from production, and that's something very difficult. So for example, if you have a production machine, we only need relevant planning data such as equipment time, throughput time, what kind of customer orders need to be done in a way they are scheduled, etc. And so we don't need that much production data, and it will be implemented into a factory based on a cloud-based approach. That means we get connected to any kind of ERP system, planning system, and capture planning data, and will learn from planning data and will optimize production planning.
Okay, perfect. Now we have Yvonne with another question.
Well, I checked from your PowerPoint that you have not mentioned any real client case. However, for our judging, we need to understand that how you really help your clients in optimize their production process. Can you share any real case and how many clients you have so that we can facilitate our judging process?
Sorry, I didn't understand your question. How many?
I know that your company is quite new, and can you share with your clientele number of clients, number of customers of in your profile?
Yeah, we have 4 customers until today. The most important one is Henkel, which is Germany's major chemical producer. And another one is Anheuser-Busch, beer production in China and the United States. And the third one is Georgs Marienhütte, which is Germany's major steel producer. And we have other companies, but they are very, very small companies, maybe employing up to 60, 70 employees. So typically companies such as Henkel and other companies are our target group.
Thank you very much, Yvonne, for the question, and thank you, Alexander, for the answer. And thank you also for the whole team, of course. Let's move forward. But before, just for anyone that is joining now worldwide, remember that this is the first day of the Congress. We're doing our second pitch session of the day. We have even more than two, but this one is about business and commerce, and we're really, really well represented by different entrepreneurs that come from different parts of the world. So we already had from Latin America, someone from Chile, someone from Asia, China. We just listened to Alexander from Germany, and now we're jumping to Africa. So welcome, June, the entrepreneur from Juni, right? And directly from Nigeria, isn't it?
Correct, that's correct. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Adiola Olashiwere, and I'm speaking to you today from Lagos, Nigeria. I'm just going to share my screen. Oh, sorry, what's going on?
It's working. We just need to wait, you know.
Yeah, it's not letting me share, unfortunately. I'm sorry, it's not.
No, don't worry. We have the technical team that can assist you. If it doesn't, if it's not working correctly, just let us know so we see if we wait a little or we jump for the next team and then you go. So there's no worry.
Okay, I think it's
okay.
It's sharing now. Sorry about that. Yeah. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay, perfect. You can see my screen now. Sorry about that. Yeah, good afternoon once again. I'm excited today to talk about Juni. We're a unified financial data API company with the potential to service 3 billion people globally. We currently have our headquarters in Lagos, Nigeria, where I sit. And we also recently opened an office in Nairobi, Kenya, to service our East African operations. We service banks, microfinance banks, mobile money operators, and fintechs across Africa. We have a very diverse team of about 20 people with 13 nationalities represented, 50% of whom are actually women. In 2020, we raised $3 million in a seed round, and we're currently in a Series A funding to scale our operations. Juni, our company, is focused on addressing the 80% of Africa that is credit invisible. We provide unified financial data so that financial institutions can reach financially undeserved people with better products. With our solution, our partners get 90% data coverage, 50% historical transactions per user, and which informs machine learning, and millions of data points which informs machine learning inside products. And we've actually started to see results. Apart from the fact that, I mean, most of our partners are now seeing 90% repayment rates, our end consumers as well. We have women, small SMEs that would not have been able to access loans, now able to better get financial services from their financial partners. And with that, we've seen empowerment of the SMEs. Now, single mothers are able to provide for their family, and they're able to send their children to school. We're also helping these businesses as we provide more data for them to substantially scale and drive their business growth. Our technology is extremely easy to implement with just 4 lines of codes. You can plug our SDK into any digital application. And our SDK really is just a permission button for the consumer. And when the consumer permissions us to access their data, mind you, this permission is compliant with GDPR and NPR. We're able to pass and process this information and gather and provide millions of data points into one unified data API. We're expanding, and our API is changing the ways banks and financial institutions across Africa are provisioning financial services to the credit invisible. As you can see here, in just under 2 years, we've been able to reach and interact with many of the major financial institutions in Africa. Starting with my home country, Nigeria, we are successfully helping provide access to financial services to the underserved population. I mean, we all do know that an efficient financial sector allows a country to be globally competitive, and that is our goal here at Juni. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Juni. Thank you, Adeola. So now let's go for the Q&A. So let's see what judges may have questions. I have Lawani here, which would like to ask a question.
Well, thank you, Adeola, for this presentation. I have a short question for you. In your presentation, you showed that 90% of those who get loan from you are able to repay. So I was wondering, what do you think explain that quite high repayment rate, knowing that most of those who are basically not bankable do not have, for example, I would say the collateral that the financial institutions need in general before making the loan available to them. How do you think, or what do you think explain that quite high rate of repayment?
Well, our service is mobile based. So what we do is once we get access to, once the user gives us permission to access their mobile devices, we're able to get information from their devices that gives us a more real life about who this customer is. So we're able to get information, text messages from their banks, any kind of financial transactions they make. Even if they have a gambling app on their phone, we're able to use such information with our machine learning tools to come up with a predictive model that is real life and is very close to the spending pattern of users. So because of this, credit reports in Nigeria, they are dated. So we are providing banks with real life information that they're able to use to better access and assess their consumers.
Perfect. We have that last question from
I think that
Rudy.
is why we've been able to see high repayment rates.
There. Okay, we have the last question from Rudy.
Thank you, Caro. You know, we have, Mexico, we have the same, all these people doesn't have access to financial credit system, but we have another non-formal banking financial system, and there's a lot of money moving there and a lot of business, small business making a living out of there. Have you measured how, if in Africa you have the same, and how it's going to impact that you actually formalize this system to the credit bank system?
Sorry, can you repeat your question? I lost you for a minute there.
No, don't worry. That there is in Mexico we have the same. We have the same issue. A lot of people doesn't have access to bank because they don't have credit enough information. But there is a whole economy of financial tools available for those people. And there is a lot of people living out of that. So the moment you formalize that, all these people are going to get out of business. Have you measured that impact?
Not directly, but I think everyone has a role that they can play. Right now in Nigeria, the API system here is not open yet. So until we get to that stage where we have an open API and banks and financial institutions are able to get a bit more information about consumers, we are going to just keep forging ahead to play our role.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much. Thank you for the whole Juni team and for this presentation. Now we need to move forward to the last representative, in this case, representing again, in this case, Europe. We have someone from Portugal. So welcome, Modatta from Portugal.
Thank you. Let me just share my screen. There you go. Can you see my screen?
Not yet. We can see you, but we cannot see the screen yet.
Okay. What happened? Here we go. Sorry about that. What about now?
Yes, perfect.
Perfect. Okay, so hi, I'm Rodrigo. I'm one of the co-founders of Modatta, and we are changing how we value our data privacy. Every year, our personal data fuels a market that is worth more than $500 billion. So if you think about it, how much money did you ever make from your data? Nothing, right? And I know it's not fair, but it's actually a bad deal for business either. And this is the reason. All of those companies are trapped in a guessing game. They have to play every day to guess who their customers are, what they want, and how to reach them. And they do this by investing in web and mobile ads or buying data and analyzing it. But those services are very inefficient because they're built on bad data and bad principles. Although big tech hold our data, they don't really hold our profile. And as users, we are not voluntarily part of any of those solutions. What happens in the end is that it creates a system where companies are in constant compliance violation risk, forced to engage in intrusive relationship with potential customers, and with very little control on their marketing initiatives. And as users, we know we have no control on our data. There's no such thing as privacy. Our data is being used to spam us with information we don't care about, and we are completely cut out of the data market. So I thought there has to be a way to bring privacy, knowledge, and value through data where everybody benefits. So we created Modatta with a simple principle. Each one of us would hold our own data in our hands, in our phones, not some server or some cloud somewhere. And Modatta would apply its technology to get the same value big tech gets on centralized environments, but do it on a decentralized private environments, bringing all that value and all that knowledge to the user hands. To monetize our data, we allow companies to pay for actual business interactions instead of ads. So let's say you're a company, you just launched a new product, you have this really cool promo video you want to show. You can launch an offer in our platform, paying only for people who under that segment that completes the interaction. And people like Jeff that meets the profile have a choice to interact with the company. If he does, it's value will be generated for Jeff, for the company, and that's the point in Modatta will receive a fee. So what we want to do is change how things work and provide companies a way to reach potential customers that is GDPR compliant, where they can show they respect their customer while keeping in total control of their marketing initiatives, while giving companies, users full control on their data, allow people to learn from their data using AI and choose to monetize it by interacting with companies they care about. We have launched a very successful MVP last year, have been in full development modes until this year, and are happy to say that we are ready to launch in April, so next month. And our goal is to build accessible knowledge, promoting privacy by design, contributing to an universal basic income, and enabling positive relationship between companies and individuals. So thank you, and let's change how we value our data privacy.
Thank you very much, Modatta. What a great pitch. Thank you, very clear. And now let's open the floor for some questions. Let's see if someone, and if no one has any, I have many, so here, no, let's move. Rudy, please.
Yeah, thank you, Caro. You know, one of the things that all these companies are starting to see ahead is that it's not going to be a market share problem, but a wallet share problem. Because if you get all these products into my eyes and I'm going to buy them all, then it's going to be a wallet share problem because my wallet is going to be enough to buy them all. So have you thought of this and how are you going to solve this?
Thank you for the question. We have. It's not only about giving you a lot of relevant offers. It's about giving you the offers that are really relevant to you. And by aggregating all your information in one place, we can actually get such a powerful profile on who you are and what you want in a certain time, that we can make sure that the information that reach you, the offers that reach you, are actually relevant in that time. So we are not looking to give you 100 offers at a time. We want to give you 1, 2, or 3 that really mean something to you. So it's about quality, not quantity.
We have now another question from Odetta, please.
Hi.
Odetta.
Great product. And coming from advertising, it seems a bit like incentivized media, where for the advertiser, actually, you know that people are there to earn something else, but not to buy your product. And do you see any patterns that the users who actually choose to download your app or use your product are actually there to make money off advertisers just showing ads, and actually the value to the advertisers is not that great?
Great question. I'm glad you asked it. So what we allow companies to do is to pay for interactions, and interactions are much more than ads. So if a company wants to pay to get an app installed, for example, they will just have a cost if the user under the right segment actually pays, installs the app. If you want to pay for a purchase on your website, perfect. You will only have a cost when the user makes the purchase. If you're an offline business and you want to pay someone to go to your restaurant and have a meal, because you take your phone with you at all times, you can pay when he actually makes have a meal in your restaurant. So the idea is to go to the end of to your end goal, to your business needs, and not just limiting to the ads. Another thing we saw is that as relevant as the financial incentive is the relevance of the offer. So we had our MVP, we reached 110,000 users in Portugal alone, so in under 6 months. We tested with 20 top brands, and what we found was that if the offer is not relevant to the user, so if the segmentation, if the targeting is not well done, the user will not accept it, no matter how much money you give them.
Well, thank you very much. I know we had more questions, but a matter of time, and to be fair with everyone, we will leave it until here. Thank you to all of you. Thank you, Übank from Chile, Ipification from China, Operaize from Germany, Juni from Nigeria, and Modatta from Portugal. Okay, so that I will give a round of applause. I hope everybody does it, because all projects are really, really impacting society, and I will be followers of you guys all. So I believe that at this moment we come to the end of this specific session. All jurors thank you for being here. Everybody that actually is joining from all the places of the world, thank you also for joining this session. And again, congratulations to all the entrepreneurs. Thank you.